Two people found dead in an Aledo home after an explosion. Why investigators say it all started with a phone call.
Then a water shortage in Des Moines, but opened hydrants here. Terry Swales has more on when the heat wave could end.
Now, live from the WQAD HD studios, News 8 at 5 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Denise Hanitka.
And I'm Jason Techner. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we begin with some breaking news right now. Rough commute home tonight for anyone hoping to travel on I-280 in Davenport. Police say a camper and sports utility vehicle crashed on the interstate there. Happened a couple hours ago. Westbound lanes have been shut down completely between Locust and Kimberly. The camper virtually destroyed in that accident. Right now we have no word on injuries. We will have an update ahead on News 8 at 6.
An explosion leaves an Aledo home a pile of rubble. Two people were found dead after the massive fire, and tonight investigators are still trying to understand why. As News 8's John David reports, police found the fire after they were called to check on the people living there.
Shock and sadness in this rural Aledo neighborhood. Investigators were back Friday at the scene of a deadly fire. In Aledo, John David, WQAD HD News 8.
The Mercer County Sheriff's Department found a car, a white Ford Fusion they think might have a connection to the case, but so far no word yet on how it links to the fire.
Funeral services are now set for three Marshalltown children that drowned in the Iowa River this week. Sisters Lee Mei and Sei Ri, ages 9 and 7, and their 7-year-old cousin, Tae Mo, disappeared just after 6 o'clock Wednesday night. Hours later, their bodies were pulled from the river. The funeral services for all three children is now set for Sunday at 2 o'clock at the Center School Cemetery in Marshalltown.
A Whiteside County teen was killed after falling from a farm vehicle. The accident happened Thursday morning on a farm south of Deer Grove in Illinois. The 15-year-old was working with several people in a cornfield when he fell from a farm vehicle and then was run over by the machine. His family has asked that his name not be released.
Traffic moving okay in Clinton again tonight after a semi-truck got hit by a train this morning there on 17th Avenue North near Custom Pack. According to the Clinton Herald, police say that train was heading north when it struck the semi. It was reportedly driving en route to deliver goods to Custom Pack. No injuries were reported. The two victims found in the wreckage of this week's train derailment in northern Illinois have been identified tonight. Burton and Zoreen Lindner, ages 69 and 70, were found inside a crushed vehicle 17 hours after that accident happened Wednesday morning. Several cars there jumped the tracks and the bridge that it was traveling over caved in. The couple's son has now filed a lawsuit against Union Pacific Railroad accusing the company of negligence. While crews were working to try to determine if anyone else was buried, the judge now handling that lawsuit tonight has halted digging for 36 hours to collect evidence and take pictures for the case. Well, turning to our weather now, another day, another heat warning across much of our area.
I hope you're used to it by now. Storm Team 8 meteorologist Terry Swales has our first look at the forecast. Hi, Terry.
Well, hello. What a day it was out there. All kinds of sunshine and all kinds of heat. We reached 100 in the Quad Cities. Not a record high for the day, but actually a pretty unusual event for our area. Don't see these temps too often. Last time was last July 19th when we reached the century mark, but before that, you have to go all the way back to 2006 to find a 100-degree temperature. And tomorrow looks like readings will once again be pretty close to 100 degrees, although there is some relief up in Minnesota and Wisconsin that'll start moving in our direction tomorrow. It won't get here until very late in the day or tomorrow evening, so don't expect to see much relief tomorrow. But by Sunday, things looking a whole lot better, and we will tell you exactly what you can expect in your most accurate forecast coming up.
Thank you, Terry. Disappointing job numbers for a third straight month. It's a clear indication that the nation's economy continues to sputter. Mitt Romney wasted no time today pouncing on the numbers, even breaking away from his vacation to make a comment. President Obama, meanwhile, spoke to voters on the campaign trail in Ohio. As President Obama's bus tour hit the road in Ohio, the campaign was hit with this morning's disappointing jobs report. In June, employers added only 80,000 new jobs, far fewer than economists expected. It's the third straight month of weak hiring, keeping the unemployment rate unchanged at 8.2%. Those numbers put the president back on defense.
Overall means that businesses have created 4.4 million new jobs over the past 28 months, including 500,000 new manufacturing jobs. That's a step in the right direction.
Mitt Romney interrupted his vacation in New Hampshire to say the jobs report is proof the president's time is up.
It is another kick in the gut to middle-class families. The president's policies have not gotten America working again, and the president's going to have to stand up and take responsibility for it.
Stocks opened lower on the economic news. The Dow dropped more than 100 points in the first few minutes of trading. On top of that, gas prices are inching back up for the first time since April, making it even more clear that the economy is still the biggest issue leading up to the November election.
And Quad City Congressman Bobby Schilling weighing in on the jobs report to News 8 tonight, saying it's another indication that business leaders are waiting for changes to get rid of marketplace uncertainty.
It's actually quite scary, and it's all about the uncertainty that's out there throughout the country. And one of the things we continue to work on and focus in on is a lot of the overregulation that's going on. And then a lot of people are looking at the year end with the tax increases that are coming in, and a lot of folks are pulling back. They're laying off. We're seeing a lot of things happening across the board, and it's all because of the uncertainty.
Meanwhile, Illinois is set to lose more jobs this summer. 9 companies will cut about 1,400 jobs in the next 2 months. In Chicago, Stockyards Packaging is closing, cutting nearly 100 jobs. And in Hanover Park, another 100 jobs will be lost when Ultra Foods shuts down. The Illinois Commerce Department says the layoffs are due to closings and restructuring.
Mitt Romney tonight has set a new Republican fundraising record. Presidential candidate bringing in more than $100 million last month alone. That includes donations to the campaign, the Republican National Committee, and the Romney Victory Fund. The Obama campaign has not released their fundraising totals yet, but they have repeatedly said they expect to be outdone by Romney. In terms of poll numbers tonight, a national average of all polls at RealClearPolitics.com has President Obama at a 3-point lead. Meanwhile, Romney ahead by a 51-43 margin in swing states, according to CNN.
Kraft's international snack business is moving tonight, but the headquarters will stay in Illinois. The new spin-off company it created is called Mondelez International. It will move about 400 employees to the Deerfield location. Kraft's grocery spin-off will still be called Kraft Foods and will remain in Northfield, Illinois.
It appears that efforts to ban same-sex marriage in Iowa are now losing steam. Surveys show that Iowans are becoming more accepting of gay marriage ever since the state Supreme Court legalized it 3 years ago. Even voters in the state's conservative districts no longer consider ending gay marriage a top priority. That's according to Republican organizers. Conservative leaders say they fear Iowa voters might not approve a referendum banning gay marriage, but GOP leaders also say they'll propose one if they win control of the legislature in November.
The Rock Island Arsenal is marking a major milestone this weekend, its 150th anniversary. This morning, the island got an early start on the celebration with the run through the factory. The jog took soldiers, workers, and civilians through the Joint Manufacturing and Technology Center. It's been a part of the Arsenal since 1862.
It makes us so much stronger to be surrounded by all this industrial capability that's in the area, and the community supports us so much in so many ways each and every day. So because we're part of the community.
The public is invited to tomorrow's celebration. The gates open at 8:30. The parade starts at 10, followed by the opening ceremony at 11. You can also check out a carnival hosted by the USO from 11:30 to 4:30.
It has been a sweltering week of preparations, but Deere Run is ready to welcome the world's best golfers to the Quad City area. The 2012 John Deere Classic tees off next week, but golf fans won't be the only winners out there. Just like in the past, local charities are going to cash in on one of the area's biggest sporting events. Ticket sales are actually up 5 to 8%, meaning that more dollars will help those right here in the Quad Cities.
We've kind of gotten a better idea now who's in. 32 players that have won tournaments in the last 2 years, major championship winners, Ryder Cup veterans. So I think that has something to do with it. But Stricker and his chance to win 4 in a row is, I'm sure, a big component.
Tournament begins next week and runs through next Sunday. Now, ahead of the pros next weweek will be the John Deere Pro-Am, but no one from WQAD will take part this year as we have donated our spot to a member of the Illinois National Guard. Captain Jeremy Miles from the 2-123rd in Milan will represent the Guard on behalf of WQAD next Wednesday. He'll find out the pro that he'll be paired with next week. Captain Miles has been a member of the Guard since 1995 and served in both Iraq and Egypt. We know he will do everyone proud and spend far less time in the rough than anyone that we currently have on staff here at News 8.
The Niabi Zoo needs your help finding a name for its baby giraffe. Zookeepers have narrowed it down to 3 names, including Jabali, Wally, or Kofi. Change jars are out in front of the indoor giraffe viewing area where you can drop a few coins and vote for your favorite name. The jar that raises the most money by the end of July will be the winning name. All the money will go towards the new elephant enclosure at the zoo.
We're working on a capital campaign to raise money for the elephants, so that's where we'll get a lot of our real high dollar donations, hopefully from grants and maybe different individuals in the community or corporations, those sorts of things.
The zoo has raised about $500,000 so far for the elephant exhibit, but it needs at least $4 million more.
The tickets are bought and paid for the very unique music festival in Dixon, Illinois, featuring Mumford & Sons next month, but there's at least one problem tonight. Nearly 1,500 people are expected to be in the city there for the sold-out concert. According to the Sauk Valley Times, though, about 5,500 of them who bought camping tickets, those are good for Friday and Saturday night. Well, the organizers had planned to house those campers at Camp Reynoldswood, but now the Lee County Sheriff says there's not enough room at that location. They are now looking into nearby city-owned fields. The Dixon City Council still has to approve it. The concert is set for August 18th. Still ahead tonight, a massive water warning.
As the drought worsens, several counties now asking people to conserve water. We'll tell you which areas are now on notice.
And clothes from a cow. How some designers have redefined the true power of milk. That's ahead on News 8 at 5.
And our Facebook friend of the day is Lynn King of Rock Island. She says she loves spending time with her husband and is a proud grandma to 2 boys. Thank you for liking us, Lynn.
You are watching HD News 8 at 5 with Jason Fechner and Denise Hanitka.